Hey, Facebook, this is your girl, Camille Sheppard-Parrish, the Healthy Love Coach. So I am on again, late night with you. I'm in Chicago in my hotel room. And before I go to sleep, I wanted to just jump on with my crew, my tribe, my peeps, and say, what's up? I hope everyone is having a fabulous week so far. It's only Monday, so I hope it's been marvelous for you. I wanted to talk to you today. It just occurred to me, first of all, it's ridiculous that I have been traveling since, let's see, what time did I leave home? I think I left home about quarter to two, and I am just now getting into Chicago about 10 o'clock Chicago's time, and it's about 11 o'clock your time. Eastern Standard Time. And then, of course, if you guys are in some other part of the world, it's a different time. The point is that it should not have taken me 9 hours to get to Chicago. It's only a 2 hour flight from Norfolk. But let me tell you what happened, because I think that this is super, super important. The bottom line is I'm a hotel snob and I'm an airline brat. I love to fly Delta. If I have to fly 9 hours, I'm going to fly Delta. Let me tell you, United and American Airline only take about 2 hours or less to get to Chicago. It's like a really quick flight from Norfolk to Chicago. It's like less than 2 hours. So why did I fly all the way up to LaGuardia Airport in New York and then all the way and then had a layover, right? I could talk to clients during that time, right? And then after my layover, my plane was delayed, right? And then I flew into Chicago. So I didn't get here until just now, right? So I probably been here all of maybe 30 or 40 minutes, right? So why did I do that? Why am I such an airline brat, right? And then I got to the hotel, and this hotel, it's okay. I'm a Marriott brat, hotel snob, right? So I like Marriott, but I only like certain level Marriott. So some of y'all might get mad at me. Y'all might step on my toes, but that's okay, because this is all going to be for a purpose. And I hope it works out. I hope it teaches you a really good lesson. So I'm working for, I got a corporate client that we're implementing this big, big project. I can't really talk about the project. So every now and then I take on a corporate client. My computer's feeling a little crooked here. Every now and then I take on a client. And so a bunch of us are here in Chicago to work on this humongous project. I can't say what it is because you'll know the company. It's a huge company and everybody knows who the company is. But so we're working on a big confidential project, right? It's really huge. And so a lot of us are here, and some friends or buddies that are at the same organization, also doing some consulting, helping to get this implementation done, decided that they were going to stay at the Marriott Courtyard. So they said, hey, come with us to Marriott Courtyard. Right. So I canceled my reservations at the really nice, nice upscale Marriott, the one that has crystals in the lobby, and, everything is plush, and your room has all these high-end fragrances and fancy gels and stuff in the bathroom, right? Cancel my reservation to come to Courtyard. Now, let me say, this is a pretty decent courtyard. They look like they probably just renovated it. You can see from the background. So pretty nice. It has a little couch in the room, nice little lounge area, it has a nice little bedroom. The bathroom is pretty decent. But guess what? It's not the Renaissance. It's not the JW. It is not the high-end Marriott hotels, right? So the bistro has cheap wine, cheap food. I can't even get any really healthy salads with, hey, thank you for joining. Give me a shout out and I'll shout you out too, right? I can't really get any really fancy stuff, right? I don't eat that much meat, but when I do eat meat, I like to eat like crab or shrimp or lobster. So that's like what I like to eat. There ain't no crab here. There's no shrimp here. There's definitely no lobster here, right? Where they have some margarita pizza that looks like my son made it at home, right? And the wine tastes like it didn't age enough. It tastes so cheap. It's horrible. Okay. And I call myself getting some healthy stuff. So I got these Brussels sprouts that are burnt. Now, if I went to my high end Marriott, I don't think I'd have that experience because I'd be trying to figure out what am I going to eat, right? My lobster, my shrimp, my crab cakes, and maybe I don't like caviar, but they even have all that kind of stuff there too, right? So, no shade for anybody who can't afford this. This is not about that. This is not about that. Just wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. You're going to see where I'm going with this, right? So I flew 9 hours today because I wanted to fly Delta. And at least I'm at a Marriott. I have tons of Marriott rewards, so much so that when me and my husband went on our honeymoon to Hawaii, half of that honeymoon, yes, I love seafood too. Half of our honeymoon hotel was paid for because I had that many points that we could stay at a JW Marriott. I think it was a JW Marriott in Hawaii. It was very super high and right on the beach. And we paid for half of it with our points, right? He paid for everything else. So I'm like, I'll give you some points. I wasn't paying for it, but I gave him some points. And that's how we paid for half of our hotel stay. Okay. So my point is, why would I do this? Right? Why would I fly 9 hours just to get some Delta points? Right? And it's not only to get the Delta points, but it was to have the Delta experience. You know why? Because Delta is very organized. Delta has very high values. They leave on time, right? And they pride themselves on no late flights, although they do have a few, like tonight, their flights were delayed, right? And then when you get on, I get those little biscotti cookies. They're so sweet and they have a ginger cinnamon taste. It was so good, right? And I can get my coffee and get my Baileys inside my coffee. And I have my little TV that I can watch, and I can plug in my computer, my laptop, and I can connect. The last time I flew to Chicago a couple of months ago, there was no TV. I think I flew United. There was no plug for my computer. Right? There was no sweet cookies on the airline. Right? As a matter of fact, they didn't even have food. I think they just had some drinks. They didn't have Starbucks coffee. They had some other kind of coffee, right? So where am I getting to? It was all about the brand. It was all about the brand experience. That's why I flew Delta, because I wanted the brand experience, right? And Delta upgrades you to first class when they can, right? They give you a better seat when they can, right? And so I wanted that Delta experience. Okay. And why do I choose Marriott? Same thing. I get all these points and I can build up my points. I got so many points over the years that, like I said, I can go to Hawaii or other countries, and sometimes I can stay at the hotel for pretty much free or half price because I travel so much and I get so many points, and I can stay at fabulous places and really have a good time. When we went to London, I also used points, right? And when we went to Paris, I used a lot of points because I built up a lot of points over the years, right? And when I go, I have these fabulous experiences, right? Because they're plush, they cater to you. Their brand is very posh, right? When you stay at the upper scale. Now, Marriott has gotten smart because even their Spring Hill suites and their courtyards, as you can see, they're bringing them up. They're getting better, they're getting nicer, right? But they're still not at the level of a JW. It's like the difference between drinking beer and champagne, right? This beer tastes good. It's going to give me a really good buzz, but it's not giving me the type of feeling I want to have by holding that glass of champagne in my hand, right? And so that's the difference. So where am I going with this? How loyal are you to your brand? Right? And why am I talking about brand in a dating, group, right? We're trying to understand how to heal from the inside out, understand what's blocking us from the love that we truly deserve. And then we're trying to understand how to really attract the man that we truly desire. Well, here's where I'm going with this. You have to be loyal to your brand. And your brand is you. Your brand has to do with your personal values, your goals, your purpose, your personality. Do you like to laugh? Do you enjoy dancing? Do you enjoy comedies or drama? Do you like to swim? Do you like to work out? Do you like to play? What do you like to do? Right? That's what your brand is all about. Your brand is you. So you are a walking billboard for your brand, right? But in order for your brand to shine through, you have to be willing to peel off your mask. You have to be willing to peel off some layers. You have to be willing to look yourself dead in the mirror, right? And understand what's going on in the inside and fix that stuff so that you don't mind showing up as your authentic brand. Who is you? It's you. Your authentic brand is you. When you show up that way, guess what? Men who like your brand will start to connect with you. And guess what? They won't go to Hilton. They won't go to Sheraton. They won't go to the Motel 6, right? They won't go to those women, right? They have a different brand style, right? They won't go to the Holiday Inn, right? They're going to come to the Marriott, right? They're going to come not only to the Marriott, but they're going to come to the JW Marriott, right? They're going to come to the Renaissance Marriott. And Marriott also owns, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. They also own the very high-end hotel as well. It'll come to me in a minute, right? So they will come to you, your brand, because they like you, right? They want to connect with you. They want to get with you. They want to be with you. They want to build your brand, help you continue to push your brand forward. But you have to learn how to be loyal to your brand. So what is your brand? Right? Everybody's brand is a little bit different, right? Like I said, some of us love to dance and have a great time. Some of us are very serious and focused and intense, right? Some of us love to just kick back and chill, right? Some of us like to travel. Some of us like fitness. Some of us like education and self-improvement, right? So when you are thinking about the man that you want to spend the rest of your life together, think about your brand. Think about who you are. Think about what you bring to the table. And then think about what he can bring to the table and how you and him can complement each other, right? Because if his brand is Motel 6 and your brand is Marriott, there is no way that those two brands are going to merge and build a better brand, right? Not impossible, right? Marriott can take over Motel 6 and make it a better brand. And as a matter of fact, I've been seeing some commercials for Motel 6. They're on a come up, right? So your man could be on a come up. Your man could be improving himself. Your man could be trying to get to Marriott level, right? But he might not be, right? He might not be there, right? And that could be an indication that it's not your man. And you just have to make that decision. But the bottom line is that you need to be loyal to your brand, right? So you can't sit up here and be like a Marriott, but looking at Motel 6. You need to be a Marriott looking at another Marriott, right? Or something better than a Marriott. You have to do that, ladies. And so what is your brand? Be loyal to your brand. Don't compromise your brand. If you love to dance and love to travel, don't get with a man just because he's fine and he got a decent job and maybe he's never been married or blah, blah, blah. And you're going to get with him just because he's a good guy, right? If he is not aligned with your brand, ladies, that is not your Mr. Right. I don't care how good it is, how shiny he is, how gonna make me go somewhere. How amazing he is in bed, right? It don't matter how much all of that stuff may seem to be great. If it's not in alignment with you, your core values, your brand, who you are, it is not your man. When you try to merge two things that don't go all in water, Motel 6 and Marriott, right? unless Marriott, because if Marriott is taking over Motel 6, Marriott is going to do an overhaul to Motel 6. Marriott is going to come in there and gut it and change it and make Motel 6 look like it's a Marriott brand, right? That's what Marriott did with all of the Courtyards, all of the Spring Hill Suites, all of their different brands of Marriott, right? You know the Marriott brand, right? Marriott is not going to go grab Motel 6 and take over that brand and allow Motel 6 to now change it, right? And bring it down to a Motel 6 level. They're not having that because the Marriott members who are loyal to Marriott won't have it. They will stop servicing, visiting, patronizing Marriott, right? So Marriott owns the Ritz-Carlton too. That was the fancy hotel I was thinking about. So what are you going to do? What is your brand? One of the assignments I want to give you ladies this week is I want you to start to figure out what is your personal brand? What do you stand for? Who are you? Authentically, when you take away the fear, when you take away your low confidence, maybe low self-esteem, when you take away all the negative self-talk going on in your head, when you take away all the masks and trying to live up to everybody else's standards, who are you? What is your brand? That's what I want you to get connected with. Understand brand me. You have to understand your brand, your purpose, your values, right? Before you get into a relationship with a man. Once you understand who you are, what you desire, you can then think about merging your lives with someone else. But you want to make sure that person is in alignment with you. You want to make sure their brand values matches your brand values. You want to make sure when you merge, you won't have to do a complete overhaul to his brand, right? Your brand should actually be a complement to his brand, right? And his brand should actually be able to support your brand. You should not be hustling and shucking and driving, trying to get this guy to get on the same page as you, trying to get him to notice you, trying to get him to commit to you, trying to get him to call you, trying to get him to see you. That means your brands are not in alignment. And what's happening to so many women that call me, that's in my community, that are taking my classes, that signed up for the retreat, so many of them are getting into these relationships and their brands are not aligned. And so the guy, he's over here, he's doing his thing in his brand. He's going out, he's hanging out with other women, he's dating, he's doing his thing, right? He has other little chicks on the side relationship. Maybe he even has a wife, right, in his brand, right? But what do? We act, right? Because he comes over, he sees us, he calls us every now and then, maybe he has good sex or something, right? We think that we are in a relationship with him. We think that our brand mission and goals are aligned, right? And they're not always in alignment, which is why so many women are devastated when they find out that he was seeing someone else or he went to marry someone else, right? It's because you were not in alignment. You came into that relationship or situationship, right, out of alignment with your own personal core values, your own mission, your own purpose, your own brand. And you connected to something that was not aligned with you. And it didn't work. And now you're hurt. And so what we need to do now, ladies, is we really need to start to identify, number one, what is our brand? And why do we keep connecting to something that's out of alignment with what we truly desire? I want to invite you to evaluate that this week. And then we can talk about it. Or you can post about it. You can post in the group. You can post on my Facebook page. But I want you to really think about it. I want you to really think about your brand, what it means, what's its purpose, what's its mission, what are the tenets, what's the governance, right? What are the standards that you bring? Where are you today? Where does that brand need to go in the future? And then before you think about getting into any relationship with any man, I don't care how fine he is, I don't care how passionate his love is, I don't care how much money he makes, I don't care what it is, how much you see the future with him and he's just a great guy. Everybody that's great is not for you. And that's why the relationships are falling apart. You need to make sure you have brand alignment right from the start. And when you notice that the brands aren't aligned, you can't be afraid to say, thank you, but no thank you, right? You got to be able to get to the man who's going to align your brand. If you can do that, ladies, you'll have less heartbreak, you'll have less toxic relationships. And when you find that your brands are aligned, you won't have to be begging this guy for a commitment. You won't be saying to him, are we in a committed relationship? Are we exclusive? Are you seeing other women? When are we getting married? You won't be dating him for 20 years and trying to figure out when he's going to put a ring on your finger. You won't be moving into with him without being married to him, right? Because your brands were aligned. That means he would have understood what you needed, wanted, and desired in your brand. And he would have come to the table as a partner to let you know how he can contribute to your brand, how he can make your brand better, right? How he can elevate your brand. And if he can't do that, ladies, he might not be the perfect brand to align with, right? So think about that. Chew on that. Post in the group. Tell me what you found out about evaluating your brand, right? And tell me, think about your three missions. Your mission, your purpose, your goal with your brand, right? And then again, I want you to think about when you meet someone, I want you to make sure you're in alignment. And if you're not in alignment, you can't be afraid. You cannot come from a place of lack or scarcity or desperation and hold on to that brand just because you want a brand. You got to be willing to let go of the thing that's not in alignment. You know, every day people call me wanting to do business with me. If their business is not in alignment with me, I can't do business with them. Every day people call me, they want to participate in a retreat. If their business and their offering and their services are not in alignment with what I'm bringing you for the retreat, they can't participate in the retreat. It's just as simple as that. It doesn't mean I don't like them. It doesn't mean I won't hang out and talk to them, communicate, work with them. It just means that we're not in alignment. Our brands are not in alignment for this event. Right? And you have to realize that some men are just not in alignment for your brand and your life changing event. So just really realize that. And ladies, on that note, remember next week, I want to remind you, I have a free 3-part masterclass coming up. It's not even next week, it's Sunday. Well, it's technically a new week, but it's coming up on Sunday, next Sunday, June 10th, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be kicking off a free, absolutely free 3-part masterclass. So if you want to go deeper with me, you want to learn more about how to stop dating the wrong type of man, and if you want to get 5 steps to attract your Mr. Right, join me on that session next Sunday, because it's going to be so fun. And ladies, also, I want to thank you so much. So many of you have been signing up for the retreat. I'm super excited about it. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I can't wait. We're planning some amazing things for you, right? So the rest of you, don't wait to get your ticket, because you might be left out this time, because you might find we won't have any more tickets. So go ahead and get your ticket. Don't wait until the last minute. If you can go to loverejuvenationretreat.com. And for those of you who are looking to be a sponsor or vendor, we are taking sponsor and vendor applications and partnership applications. If you're interested, just go to the website and reach out to me, and I'll be happy to connect with you to see if our brands align. So ladies, thank you for listening to me, allowing me to pour into you. I am super tired, but I wanted to pop on to say, hey, I'm going to get some rest, and I wish you all love. Good night, everyone.